number 70, Miguel Reyes. For Seaside, number 10, Elijah Robinson. Number 50, Terrence Hawkins. And number 76, Jaime Ortiz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem. Sung tonight by our very own.
And we're live now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are standing for the national anthem live at Alisal High School for the match between Seaside High School and Alisal High School. This is MCAETtv, and we're standing for the national anthem.
A big round of applause for Athena. Thank you, Athena.
All right. If y'all can hear us out there,
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is especially
this is Marcos Cabrera coming to you live from Alisal High School for the matchup between Seaside High and Alisal High School, and I'm here with my partner, Bruce Genie. How you doing this evening, Bruce?
Good, Marcos. Hope you had a good week, and it's nice to be back.
Oh, absolutely. We're back here for week 2 of our season with MCAETtv Friday Night Lights, and we want to welcome everyone out there who is watching us tonight on whatever broadcast platform that you happen to be watching us on. We are currently on Comcast Channel 26. We're on Charter Channel 17 on South Monterey County. We're also streamed live on YouTube through MCAET.org, MCAETtv.org, and so this is pretty interesting matchup this week.
Marcus, I think we're just about everywhere you could possibly want to be on a Friday night show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have the 1 and 2 Alisal Trojans facing off against the 0 and 2 Seaside Spartans.
Well, I'll tell you what, Seaside went up and played a powerhouse last week in Bishop O'Dowd. Give them a lot of credit. Go up and play one of the best teams in Northern California.
And we're getting ready here.
Any Raider fans are listening, wonder what happened to Napoleon Kaufman. He's the coach of that Bishop O'Dowd.
And that gives you an idea of exactly who they're playing.
Exactly.
As Alisal gets this one past the 30-yard line, that'll be marked down right at the 30-yard line. 11:54 here in the first quarter to open the game here, and we are rocking and rolling here, Bruce.
Looked like Rodrigo Ruiz on that return.
Yeah, we're here at Alisal High School. Lots of energy, great atmosphere at Alisal High, and I would know this because I'm a proud Alisal Class of '94 graduate, Bruce. You're going to hear, maybe I may mention that once or twice during the broadcast.
Well, it's certainly noticeable what's been going on here at Alisal the last couple of years with new coach 3 years ago. He's really turned the program around.
Yep.
Doing a great job.
And that was Julian Renteria, senior quarterback, taking that over the right side for a gain of about 4 yards. Renteria, pretty high octane player, over 300 yards rushing so far this year, and he is pivotal to this Alisal offense. We're going to be calling his name quite a bit today.
I think he had over 500, 600 yards last year too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so just a pure athlete. And Renteria up to the line of scrimmage. Hands it off, and that looks like it's to their bell cow, Darian Segovia. If I'm not mistaken, that looked like his handoff over to Segovia.
And Carlos Santos came up and made a nice stop there.
Yeah, that one goes for about 3 more yards, so maybe 2 yards on that one. That'll mark 3rd and what looks to be about 7. Ball down at just inside the 40-yard line at the 39-yard line. 10:56 to go here in the first quarter. And you know, both of these teams losing records so far, trying to gain some sort of a footing, get some sort of an identity early in the season.
Sure, and I have a feeling we'll be calling Jacob Salinas' name quite a bit, number 5 on that middle linebacker spot for Seaside.
There we go, and now Renteria up to the line of scrimmage. Got some movement in the backfield. What is that?
Salinas. He came up, showed blitz.
There you go. just as you call that broadcaster's.
Let me just clarify. That's not why I said we'd be calling his name.
Bruce working his magic here early in the game. That'll be a first down for the Trojans. Ball game marked down about the 44-yard line here.
Okay, so that's the last one of those you get.
Yeah, I think we get one each. We get one each.
Okay.
So I'll see where I'll save mine for later. So.
But we're going to see a lot of option play out of Alisal tonight, I think.
And Segovia jumps back to the pocket, has a wide open right receiver there. That's to number 21, Israel Corona. That ball will be good for a first down. Marked down at about the 40-yard line, and just a nice little play action there. What'd you say?
Which is a great counter to what they normally they like to run the option. And so what you're going to see tonight is you're going to see Seaside loading the box, meaning that they're going to bring a lot of people right around the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring those. They've got 3 linebackers, and they've got a 4-man front. So you're going to see them bringing 8 or 9 guys up in the box to try to stop that run, and it becomes gap control football. So if they just play the assignment football, gap control football, and try to neutralize that sort of misdirection that comes with the option. And
Alisal gets another big gain there. That one will get marked down and just up inside the 35-yard line, marked down at the 34. One of the things that Alisal has going for it returned all-league lineman Isaac Duenas, and he is just right there in
Number
the middle of the
52,
line.
yeah.
Just wreaking havoc. 6'3", 330 pounds. He is just a mountain of a man, Bruce.
Yeah, he was all league last year.
All league last year, and he was also co-offensive lineman of the year for his league. As that ball goes to Corona, that'll go outside the left side. That's going to be a good gain. That'll get another Alisal first down line as the Trojans are in business with the run game here early on, Bruce.
Dylan Oliveros coming over to make that stop.
Ball get marked down just outside the 26-yard, just at the 26-yard line.
I will tell you, Seaside is going to miss DeMarcus Hawkins. He was their outside linebacker, defensive end, and running back last year. Ran for over 1,500 yards. And again, that's the misdirection taken by Renteria.
Renteria gets another big chunk of yards, and Alisal is really taking the initiative here early on, just driving on the Spartans here. That is close to a first down, just about 9 yards, just short of the first down, but that'll be second and about 1, marked down at the 20, or inside the 15-yard line, up about 17 yards. 8:08 on the clock here in the first quarter, Bruce.
See the linebackers sneaking up. And really, as a coach,
again Segovia with the carry, that'll give him the first down.
As a coach, what you're hoping your linemen will do now, and your linebackers, is just play that gap control football. And you're saying don't watch the ball, do not watch the ball, because when you're running the option, quarterback is great at the misdirection and trying to hide the ball. So if you're watching it, you're going to get caught.
Right.
And so you really want to just, if you stay in the right place, the play will come to you.
Renteria takes his team up to the line of scrimmage, but there was some movement on both sides. We'll wait for that'll be a false start against Alisal, bringing back about 5 yards. So one of the things I'm noticing right here, at least early on in this drive, Alisal playing a real clean ball game despite that flag right here. But in contrast to last week's game, where we saw quite a few early flags, Alisal playing pretty clean so far.
So far, so good, yeah.
And that's a pitch over to number 33, Anthony Estrada. And Estrada gets back to about the original line of scrimmage on that pitch.
Starting tonight for Seaside is Dylan Olivares, who's sophomore, and he's got big shoes to fill because he's filling that spot that Hawkins played last year.
What was your opinion on bringing up sophomores? What did it take for you to bring up a sophomore to the varsity level?
You know, it depends on their physical maturity and their overall sense of maturity. You know, I spent a lot of time coaching at a small school, and so we looked heavily on those sophomores that could play at the varsity level. Ideally, you want them to get lots of reps. You want your sophomores to play a lot, and so our rule of thumb was if they were going to play, we'd bring them up. If they were going to be a supporting role, we get them the reps on JV. And occasionally, you've got a freshman that can come up and make the starting squad.
Well, Alisal is up to the 5-yard line, and Segovia has his troops at the line of scrimmage. Hand off over to Segovia again. I should have said Renteria earlier, but Segovia with the handoff, and that'll be a 4th down. Ball marked again at the 5-yard line. So Alisal going almost the length of the field, but they're going to be stopped short here with a 4th and about 4 yards to go for a 1st down. And I don't see the kick team yet, but looks like we'll see what they got going on here. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it here. 4th down.
This is when you want to look at a guy like Ibarra out. You know, what can they do if they're loading the box? Do they look outside? What do they?
Renteria has a nice little slant on the inside. That'll be about a 6-yard touchdown to Enrique Ibarra. Trojans get on the board with 5:22 to go here in the 1st quarter. 6-0 Alisal takes the early lead. And that was just a nice little slant route, and they had tons of room there to work with.
Well, I mean, that's the risk when you got a team that's really loading the box. That's you know, you're going to chip away, get your 3-4 yards, and then you get everyone kind of sucked in like that. And you get a nice one-on-one matchup out there. And Ibarra's a nice player. It was a good catch. He went right to we call that open grass. Go to the open grass.
And here's the hold and the kick. Looks like it's good. Alisal takes a 7-0 lead with 5:22 to go here in the 1st quarter. And we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in a few moments. Alisal with a 7-0 lead over Seaside High in the 1st quarter here at Alisal High School.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
Oh, okay. So are you getting
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
All right, and we are back here. Alisal with a 7-0 lead over Seaside High on about a 7-yard touchdown catch by Enrique Ibarra from Julian Renteria on 4th down. So nice clean drive for Alisal. Just the one penalty. Really asserted themselves with that drive.
Doing what they do, and showing a little bit of everything. They showed a nice passing game.
And we'll get the kickoff here. And that is going to go to the back of the end zone. That'll be a touchback. That ball will get marked down at the 20-yard line, I believe, for the Spartans. And they're going to start off, deep in their own territory with 5:22 to go here. So Seaside, we mentioned it earlier, trying to get some sort of an identity there. Over the years, they've been known as an athletic, really active, proud program there. But they're just trying to find their way in the Gabland this year.
Right. Seaside traditionally had a lot of size up in front. They're not that big up in front as they have been in the past couple of years. And I know they like, Coach Avila likes to grind it out.
I want to talk about Coach Avila in a minute, but here we go. First play from scrimmage. That is a little handoff over the left side, and wow. That was Jacob Salinas put down his shoulder on that one.
He
and
sure
just
did.
Pounded an Alisal defender. That'll go for about 5 yards. As a coach, you got to like seeing that, huh, Bruce?
I sure do, yeah. And I sure like how Dorian Segovia is playing, too. He's playing a little out, came all the way over and made that hit.
And this is going to be a handoff over to Elijah Robinson. And Robinson gets a big gain right there. That's going to be at about the 41-yard line for the Spartans. And on 2 plays, 2 big chunks of yardage. And Spartans just answering back here.
Abraham Ramirez had to come all the way up from his free safety spot to make that stop.
And we are seeing a hurry-up offense, a rush offense here from the Spartans. Back to Robinson again. That'll be for about 3 yards. Saw this last week over at Alvarez. Seaside may be seeing something here, Bruce.
Well, Elijah Robinson is a shifty runner, and I expect that he could have a breakout game here tonight.
Seaside is being captained by Tristan Cortez, the junior. Taking all the snaps, and he sits in the shotgun formation. Fakes the handoff to Robertson and finds an open receiver in the flat. That goes to Trayvon Campbell, a sophomore. Gets that, holds on to that ball for about a 4 or 5, maybe 5 yard gain there. That'll get marked down at the 45.
Yeah, it was a good catch. He kept his eye on that ball, bobbled a little bit. I don't know if we'll see that one again, but probably not because Seaside's playing fast here tonight.
Yeah, here we go. And Cortez back in the shotgun. And we see some movement there. And that is going to be encroachment on the Alisal Trojans. That could be, it won't be enough for a first down, but it's going to be really close. That'll make it a 3rd and short for the Spartans. Or rather, 2nd and short. That should be 2nd and short.
Seaside really coming out with some gamesmanship on their hard count. They're coming up to the line of scrimmage on defense.
And that's a little screen pass. That's going to go for a first down. That'll go over to Christian Nieves. And Cortez finding his receiver for a good 4 yard gain. That'll get them into Alisal territory. Bruce?
And that was Alvaro on that stop.
First down, Spartans.
Spartans, so far answering the call here.
Sure. Look good so far. It's not a big squad for Seaside. This is 35 players, I think, for Seaside.
And that's another handoff over to Robinson. That'll get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a short loss. That ball still marked down about the 49-yard line there.
Not a lot of room over there. I liked how Alexis Lopez came up and made that stop from his, looked like defensive tackle spot right there.
Spartans back to the line of scrimmage with Cortez in the shotgun. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter as Cortez fires one over to the left-hand side and he finds an open receiver. That'll be over to Edwin Martinez. So that is a gain for maybe about 5 yards there on that one.
Brought down there by Israel Corona for Alisal.
3rd down and about 6 still to go. Ball marked down at the 44-yard line. Spartans are making some moves, but they still got a ways to go here. And Cortez into the flat again, this time to Salinas, and Salinas works his way up the middle. He may be close, but I don't think he's going to get the first down on that one, Bruce. That was a nice one.
Yeah, I like how he moves with the ball. He had a little shimmy shake there and got a couple extra yards.
Yeah, that was a nice little move, and they're going to go for it here. Coach Avila showing some confidence in his men. 4th down, about 1. Ball marked down at the 39. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Cortez, and we have movement.
Yeah,
and that was Tavita Kamitoni Jr. with the movement for the Spartans. That'll be a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty puts the ball at the Alisal 44-yard line.
So for all that momentum that Seaside is getting,
you know, it's a.
6 to go for the Spartans.
It comes down to that discipline when you want to get that short first down, and all of a sudden now they got about what, 6 yards, 7 yards.
Yeah, so 4th and 1 turns into 4th and a short one. I mean, and that was a pretty short one. Turns into a long 4th and 6.
And they're going for it, which shows a lot here.
Cortez in the shotgun position, and now we're going to have a timeout here by Seaside.
Okay.
So with a minute 58 to go, the Spartans will call a timeout. 7-0, Alisal with the lead. Friday Night Lights on MCAETtv. Marcos Cabrera here with Bruce Dini. We're going to take a quick break. We will be right back after this.
I'd like to give a shout out to the class of 2019.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
And we are back here live at Alisal High School. It is 4th and 6, 1:58 to go here in the first quarter. And the Spartans are going to opt to punt it here. And that ball is going to take a Spartan bounce, and that's going to get close to the 10-yard line. That'll get marked down to about the 11-yard line.
Very nice Spartan bounce there down by Harold English there.
That'll be marked down somewhere near the 12-yard line. 1 minute 47 to go here in the first quarter. Alisal taking over. So Coach Avila just decided to pump the brakes on that one after that unfortunate penalty for Seaside.
Well, that's a tough one, you know, especially when you're in your opponent's territory. They got down about the 40-yard line and or inside the 40, and that's when you really want to go for 4th down, especially early in the game. If you feel like you have momentum, it can be a great charge for your boys.
And now Renteria back to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to hold on to it. And looked like he bobbled the ball just a little bit there, but held on to it. He'll go over the left side, getting about 1, maybe 2 yards. Ball get marked down to the 14. 1:35 to go here in the first quarter. And Bruce, Alisal deep in their own territory, but I imagine we'll see a lot of what we've seen so far, Segovia and Corona, and a little Renteria mixed in.
Well, you don't get a lineman like Duenas that much, that often, and so, we're going to keep our eye on him.
Renteria takes the snap, and that's a handoff over to the right-hand side, and that ball, that's Segovia. He gets a nice gain on there. That is almost close to a first down there. That'll be 3rd down and 1. Segovia with about an 8-yard gain on that run. And, this line, just the way they move, it just gives Segovia so much time to work and find a seam there.
Yeah, I mean, and that looked like just a straight-ahead zone scheme. And so the onus is on the running back to find that seam. To cut back, in that case, he didn't need to. He just took it right outside. But
Renteria with the handoff, and that went over to the left-hand side. Segovia probably looks like he does. Yes, he has enough for a first down there. Nice little 3-yard gain. So Alisal getting everything that they need in terms of possession and moving it forward here on the strength of Segovia's back and strong legs.
Yeah. Hey, just an early shout out to Coach Avila. I've played against him a couple of times with teams, and he's been at this now for 26 years, I think. He's the OG of this the local football scene. As that is a pitch over to Israel Corona, left-hand side, and Corona gets a nice little 3-yard gain. But we do see referees are signaling something there. Looks like it was a timeout. Looks like, yes, we have a timeout on the field. And so actually, I'm going to take that back. This is the end of the first quarter. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. End of the first quarter. Alisal with the 7-0 lead over Seaside High School. Friday Night Lights on MCAETtv. We will be right back after this quick break.
dogs, pizza, nachos, and loaded baked potatoes. Directly next door to the snack bar is the Alisal High School Boosters Taco Shop. $2 tacos all night long, along with quesadillas. So get down there and get your food on.
And we are back. We want to give a quick shout out to John Devine and everyone over at the Monterey County Herald. At halftime, we will be reading some of the tweets coming in from John, giving us updates on scores all around the area. Friday Night Lights. We're here at Alisal High School, but we also we know that we have games and scores to report as the Trojans take over. The ball at the 29-yard line. It'll be second and about 4 to go here. And that's just another handoff, this time over to Segovia again, and he gets it close to a first down there, but about a 4-yard gain there. It's going to be third and short. No, they're going to give him the first down, Bruce.
Oh, good. It's moving the chains early. Yeah, they're feeding Segovia.
Ball get marked down at about the 34-yard line. 11:48 to go here in the second quarter, and this game is moving here, Bruce, with the Alisal.
Well, keeping the ball on the ground and playing fast is good old-fashioned football.
As Renteria up to the line of scrimmage and fakes a handoff. That was a nice
He pulled
fake.
that out at the last minute.
That was really clean right there. Renteria is keeping the ball and takes the ball just inside the 50-yard line there.
Brought down by Elijah Robinson, came over from the opposite side of the field to make that tackle.
Yeah. But as you were saying earlier, lots of options here. So Renteria making a really nice decision with that one.
Very good ball control with Renteria tonight. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and he is in command there on the field. There's no doubt who the leader of that offense is. Renteria up to the line of scrimmage. Under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Segovia. Over the left-hand side, some strong yards right there by Segovia. By Segovia, yes. Strong run.
Straight handoff. I'll tell you.
Ball get marked down at about the 47-yard line. Trojans move into Spartans territory again, and 10:40 to go here in the second half.
Rusty Fiona getting a lot of work there inside.
Renteria under center, and that's a pitch over to Corona. Corona over the left-hand side, finding space, fighting his way. And that ball get marked down inside the 40, about the 38-yard line. And I really like what I'm seeing here. These Trojans are really fighting for every inch here.
They're moving the ball, and they're really testing the secondary right now of Seaside. They're getting through that line of scrimmage, moving well.
And I like how they're getting to that second level there, and they're
exactly.
They're making things happen once they get there.
Well, let's watch this line get off the ball.
That was a pitch. Oh, and there's mine. I think that was my my bad luck curse there. Just as I was singing the praises of the Trojans.
Yeah,
we got a fumble there.
I sure liked how the offensive line got off the ball.
Yeah.
they really are getting that surge, and that's really probably the story right now. It's just that, if you can control that line of scrimmage, especially when you're committed to a ground game like they are, they're really doing it well.
So that'll give the Spartans the ball now inside their own 40 at the 39-yard line with 9:56 to go. So Seaside, now they're going to come out swinging because they know that they got to get some of this momentum back. Cortez waiting for the call for the sideline, and he's going to be in the shotgun formation. And Cortez, that was almost like a little wildcat play there over the right-hand side for about 4 yards, Bruce.
Yeah, brought down by Jesse Gonzalez, Jr. Just a designed run play just to take right up the middle.
And that's a nice call just to get something going here. You want to build some momentum after you get the turnover. Cortez in the shotgun. Takes a handoff. And this time he goes to the left-hand side. He has lots of room if he can get to that sideline. Turns that corner, almost turns that corner and is able to flip the switch, but nonetheless gets at least 8 yards. That ball get marked down at the 47-yard line. Spartans in Alisal territory.
Another designed run play. We've talked about the option, but that looked like it was just a straight designed run.
And speaking of straight, Cortez is running straight up on that one, and he just missed hitting that corner and really accelerating on that. Nonetheless, Spartans are inside Alisal Trojans territory with 9:22 to go here in the second quarter. Cortez, and that was just maybe about a couple of feet ahead of the receiver intended for Christian Nieves on that one, but that was a well-designed play. Just missed.
Yeah,
missed the pass.
Nice defensive play. He got a hand on it, but looked like Ramirez came up and made a great play on that ball.
Spartans with
good timing on that coverage too.
Cortez in the shotgun. And he's looking to the left sideline, and that is going to be overthrown. And really tempting fate, 21, Israel Corona on the coverage there. That ball was intended for, it looks like it was Edwin Martinez.
Just overthrown by about almost 10 yards on that one. But
yeah. And
nice arm strength. You got to see his nice arm strength.
Flexing the guns on that one.
For sure.
This will be 3rd down and 10 with 9:11 to go. Alisal still holding on to a 7-0 lead. Spartans in Alisal Trojans territory, but stalling here with 3rd and long.
I sure like what we're seeing from the Alisal defensive secondary too. There has some good strong plays so far. Great coverage on that last play too.
Cortez, and that's a screen over on the inside, but nothing going to it. That was completed to CJ De Guzman, but that will only get for about a 2-yard gain. Ball marked down at the 45. That'll be 4th and 8.
Ramirez again on that stop.
Yeah.
Came up, didn't fool him.
And the Trojans secondary just holding. They bend but don't break here, at least for these first 2 Seaside possessions.
Can I just make a little confession? At some point during this broadcast, if I yell screen or pass, it's just because it's in my blood. I'm doing my best to stay under control here.
You can only do that when Alisal's on defense, okay? That's the only thing.
No, and nothing to do with Alisal. It's just old habits die hard here.
And this will be a punt for the Spartans. And that's going to get marked down. Takes another Seaside bounce, and that's going to be really good field position for the Spartans. That'll be marked down at the 5. Alisal takes over at the 5-yard line with 8:10 to go here. And so, it's just, if I could take a moment here, Bruce, just to talk about coming to this school and all the pride that we have here at Alisal. Just all the memories that I have of coming onto this field, and even when our program wasn't that great, we were always out here cheering for our team, cheering for my classmates, and I'm happy that the program finally had some success last year, winning a CCS football game, the first in their history.
Oh, I know, and what excitement! I think you guys went 6 straight.
Yes.
To finish the season, and a lot of respect for what Coach is building up here. And
yeah, Coach Ivan Drydes.
And one thing I noticed too. In fact, I was talking to some parents before the game and about just the cheer program. We've got 30 cheerleaders down there on varsity. Mm-hmm. There are 30 for JV, and there are 30 for freshmen, or 28. They clarified that before. No, 28. But they said over 200 girls turn out. It's a phenomenal program. They keep busy all year long.
And they start early for that program, as that pitch over to, it looks like it was to Segovia, that will get, to Anthony Estrada, that will get fumbled, and Alisal will be 3rd and long. But they go. I know that a lot of these girls will start young. They have really great feeder programs here in this community, And we're going to see a really wonderful video package at halftime. So everyone that's tuned in, please stick around for the halftime program. Great video package by Dylan Holmes and Kent Tetmeyer for McCate TV. We're going to learn all about the Alisal cheer program.
Oh, that's great. Good. It's an extraordinary commitment that that parents and faculty have to make.
Absolutely. Alisal get 3rd down and 8, and that is going to be handed off over to Segovia. Segovia gets out to about the 14-yard line. 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. That'll be 4th and 1, and the Trojans.
I sure like how this kid runs. He's not afraid to put his shoulder down, and his feet are going, and just keeps him churning, and that's the key. You just keep your feet going, something might happen.
And with 4th and 1, the Trojans. Wow.
Deep in their own territory.
Down and 1 at the 14, and they're going for it. I've covered football for a really long time. I've rarely seen this at this level.
Seaside loading that box.
And there's a flag. False start against the Trojans.
So what Coach is doing there probably is they're going to come up the line of scrimmage and just go hard count.
Yeah.
And just hoping that they get in that case the opposite happen, but they're hoping that they're going to draw Seaside off. And so it's actually it's a strategically a good choice for a coach to make when you're inside that 5 yards in your own territory. Unless you really see what you like, you may have a freeze call on, but you're going to just go hard count. So your play is not to even snap the ball.
And so the Trojans will punt the ball. Hard to pull that one off against Al Avila coach team, though. I'm gonna just throw that one out there. His players are usually pretty disciplined. So. And that is Elijah Robinson over the right-hand side. He has the seam going up the sideline. He's inside the 20. That gets marked down inside the 15. That'll be about the 14-yard line.
Robinson. You got a flag in clip territory, or block in the back, something like that. But it sure was a nice punt out of there.
Yeah. Nice punt, and then Robinson turned on the boosters. We'll see what the call is. That's going to be a holding against the Spartans. That's going to bring it back. So you're right, in that clip, holding territory. Yeah, that'll bring it back. Spartans will get the ball down at the 34-yard line. 5:28 to go here in the first half. Alisal holding a 7-0 lead. McCate TV Friday Night Lights. I'm Marcos Cabrera with my partner Bruce Deeney. We're live from the east side, ladies and gentlemen. Cortez in the shotgun. And that's going to be a screen pass complete to Jacob Salinas, it looks like, on that one.
Nice little screen there. And that's what you're looking in those kind of screens, the little bubble screens. That's your run game in a spread offense. And I know Seaside mixes it up a little bit. They'll pack it in and run the ball, but they're playing a little spread right now.
Cortez with another quick pass. This is complete to Nieves, and Nieves has some room over the right-hand side. That's going to get the ball deep into Trojan territory, marked inside the 10-yard line. Looks like it'll get right down at the 10-yard line with 4:50 to go.
Seaside has these athletes, and you want to give the ball to your athletes in space, and that's exactly what Nieves did. He made the first guy miss.
Cortez in the shotgun. Hands it off to Robinson. Robinson has some movement. There he goes over the right-hand corner there. Touchdown, 10 yards. Elijah Robinson.
Nice move there as he cut to the outside. He just planted that inside foot, took it outside, and turned on the afterburners. Nice run by Robinson.
10 yards for Robinson. That is going to, pending the point after, the Seaside Spartans going to be right back in this game with 4:40 to go. And you just got to like what you saw there, not only from Robinson, but also with the line just giving him tons of space to work with there.
Elijah Robinson, just a shout out to, I've done quite a few clinics over the years, and shout out to Anthony Toney and Ron Johnson over at the Boys and Girls Club. And And he's one of those kids that's been a product of going to that free camp every year. And
Wow.
if there are young football players out there that want a great experience, it's usually at the middle of June. Ron Johnson, Anthony Toney put on a great camp, and of course with their legacies playing football in the Peninsula and their history in the NFL, they get a number of people out there to help coach these kids, and it's all about playing the game the right way, respecting the game, respecting the teammates, the coaches. And so it's really nice to see, a kid like Robinson, who's a product of that, doing well here tonight.
Absolutely. And that'll give after the point after, that'll tie up the game at 7-7. 4:40 to go here in the first half. Friday Night Lights, MCAETtv here at Alisal High School. I'm Marcos Cabrera with Bruce Deeney, and this is a game, folks. This is definitely a game.
Is there anywhere else you'd want to be right now?
I don't think so. I can't think of any other place. And that's going to be Israel Corona taking the reception there, taking the kickoff. He's going to get the ball down to the 30-yard line. 4:35 to go here in the first half. Trojans going to try and get some of that back. We got a game.
We do got a game.
Absolutely.
Both teams executing very well. A couple of penalties. Nothing that's really cost either team, but I like what I see. Great discipline. Especially impressed with this Alisal offensive line. Yeah. And then you've got Seaside showing their speed and athleticism. Yeah,
and Seaside really disciplined, especially on the counts at the line of scrimmage on their offensive side. It's really impressive. Renteria holds on to the ball, goes over the right-hand side, stretches it out for maybe a yard there. That'll be 2nd and 9. Ball marked down at about the 31. 4:22 to go here in the first half. And we'll see if Alisal's line has one final burst left here.
And Tavita Kematoni was in on that stop.
Renteria up to the line of scrimmage under center. Takes the snap. Holds on to it again. He's going to go over the left-hand side, and this one's going to get about 3 yards. That'll get marked down at the 35-yard line. 3:50 to go here in the first half. 3rd and about 5 yards to go. So 3rd and a long 5 at this point. If the Spartans can hold on to this one and get the ball back, they'll have sufficient time to make something happen here.
Dylan Oliveros had it with a nose for the ball in that last tackle too, as a sophomore from that defensive end position.
Renteria hands it off to Segovia, and there he goes. And he just gets up in the morning, puts his shoes on, and just gains 15 yards. That ball get marked down at the 46-yard line with 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go. The Trojans back in business here. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And both teams tonight showing that they can really control the ball, which is key.
Yeah.
You want to play at a high level, you have to control the ball.
Renteria under center. Hands it off over to Segovia. And again, even falling down, he'll get you a good 4 yards there. And that's going to get close to the 50-yard line. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go here, the first half. Alisal was 2nd, about 7.
So what do you do here? You got a 2nd down, got a little room to work.
I'm thinking another option play right here. I think what Chai does is seeing that his guys are capable of getting 3 or 4 yard bursts here, and don't stop that momentum.
There
and
you
that's
go.
That's going to be a handoff. Yeah, and that was an option over to Segovia.
And with a good option play like they're doing, even though Seaside played very well on that the defensive line, he still fell forward and got a yard or 2, right?
Yeah. So 3rd down and about 5 yards, maybe four yards to go here. Ball marked down inside the 50 at the 49-yard line. Trojans scratching inside Seaside territory, and they're bunched up right there. So
nobody back deep for Seaside. But
Renteria goes it over to the right-hand side and incomplete.
And offers picked off there by Christian Nieves.
That was intended for, it looks like number 6, Jacob Salinas, but nothing going there. So Alisal with the play action, maybe trying to get Seaside a little off guard, but Seaside sniffed that one out right away.
He just got up there with the and just couldn't hold on to the ball. I think there might have been a couple of extra hands in there too. Yeah. But
and we'll see Israel Corona now will be back to kick off the punt. That's going to be Robinson to receive it.
It's a nice punt.
Nice high punt. Robinson just in
did
lots
not
of
call
traffic.
for the fair catch there.
Yeah, living dangerously, Robinson, but held onto the ball like a pro. That ball get marked down at the 20, but we do have a yellow flag on the field.
David Maciel just decided to see what he could get out of that. Surrounded by Seaside players, but gutsy call not to call a fair catch.
Oh, and that's a face mask personal foul against Alisal, so that's going to bring the ball near the 35-yard line. Actually, at the 25-yard line, that was only a 5-yard penalty there. Nonetheless, ball marked down at the 25-yard line with 1 minute and 36 seconds to go here. Cortez back, getting some pressure.
Now one thing that our TV audience probably can't see right now, but is Isaac Duenas on the sideline talking to his fellow offensive linemen and really just showing a lot of leadership. These guys get together with their quarterback after every series, talk about what worked, what didn't work, what changes, adjustments they need to make, and that O-line is really a team within a team. Mm-hmm. And especially when you've got Renneria coming over and being part of that, shows great leadership on both parts.
And so that was a penalty against Seaside. That was a 5-yard penalty, so the ball will be marked down at the 20-yard line. Cortez back, and he's launching, and he has an open receiver
wide
down
open.
The right sideline. That one went to, it looked like it was Matthew Kaler.
Brought down by Nicholas Enriquez on the stop there.
And that will be a huge gain. That ball get marked down at about the 35-yard line, 36-yard line, 1 minute.
Yeah, nice catch by Davis there on the sideline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had that great one-on-one coverage and had a little room.
He had plenty of room there.
Nice ball.
Cortez goes into the shotgun here. Running around, looking his right-hand side. And now he's just going to keep it for himself, and he's going to get about 6 yards there. Ball will be marked down inside the 30 at about the 29-yard line for the Spartans.
Good decision. Good decision there by Cortez. Alisal had gone into kind of a deep zone on that. So there's really nowhere to go with that ball.
And Spartans with the hurry-up offense here. Cortez takes the snap, hands it off to Robinson. Oh, and there's a fumble. The ball is on the ball is loose. I couldn't tell if
it looked like Renteria might have come up with that ball. Is that no? It's.
I think the runner was down already.
Oh,
so Robinson was tackled in the backfield there. So that was a loss of about 3 yards. Really nice play by the Trojans defense, and that'll be 3rd down and 10.
That was number 2. Ruiz came up and I thought came up with that ball.
Cortez looking for a receiver, has it, and it is picked off. Number 7, Enrique Ibarra gets the pick at about the 20-yard line. And he just completely read Cortez's eyes right there and was just right there for the catch.
Stepped in front of the receiver at the last minute and came up big.
Yeah, a beautiful position.
Oh, yeah, great play, great play.
Yeah, so that'll give the Trojans, that'll put some water on the fire there. The Trojans will recover the ball inside the 20, about the 19 with 37 seconds to go. And Alisal may be trying to move the ball just a little, but I'm thinking that Coach Chaidez may just want to get back to the locker room here. And Renteria pounding his way up the middle. He's going to get a solid about 6-7 yards on that run, straight up the gut.
You're right. Ibarra really saw that ball well because you're coached to basically, your coaches are saying nothing over the top. You don't want anything deeper than you. So to be able to step in front of that ball showed he had a lot of confidence and saw it the whole way.
Yeah, and he moved on it like he knew where he needed to be for that ball. So really excellent play, just showing the coaching there. And we have a timeout here with 30 seconds to go. Alisal tied up with Seaside High. Friday Night Lights on MCAET TV. We are live from Alisal High School. Marcos Cabrera with Bruce Dini in the building. 93905. We are here. And as both teams take this timeout break, we will see if the Trojans, they've been sticking to that option all game. You got to think that they're not going to be doing anything too risky at this point.
I don't think so. We got a nice home crowd here tonight.
Absolutely. And at halftime, we will definitely be checking in with the folks for the Mission Trails Regional Network magazine. We're going to see a nice piece on the Alisal High School cheer squad, as you may or may not be able to hear all of the school spirit. It's one of the things that I loved about coming here, Bruce. Just so much spirit here, so much tradition, just so much Trojan pride bleeding in our veins here, man. It's
one of the bigger schools in the county, 2,400 students.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. We got a lot. We got a big campus here at Alisal, and everyone feels involved with it. I know I did. I got swept up in the culture here right away as soon as I got here. 32 seconds to go here in the first half. Renteria takes his squad up to the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a handoff.
Straight power handoff.
Corona gets it. That ball getting marked down near the 30-yard line as the clocks tick. 20 seconds to go. Alisal looks like they'll try to get one more play off before the end of the half. Renteria to the huddle. And shout out.
Well, they got a.
And the clock is going to tick down. They're going to get one last play. That's going to go over the left-hand side to Segovia. He'll get 3 more yards to pad the stats, but that'll be the end.
And that's about it.
The first half here. Alisal High School 7, Seaside Spartans 7. Friday Night Lights, Marcos Cabrera, Bruce Dini, and just talk about what you've seen so far tonight for both squads.
Well, I think we're seeing the best of both teams right now. They're good, disciplined football teams. It's a physical game. Whoever controls the offensive line or the line of scrimmage, I think is going to come out on top. We talked earlier about Seaside needing to play very good gap control football. They came up with a lot of pressure from their linebackers, showing blitz, coming up into the gaps, and they really played very well, neutralizing that option to a certain degree. And so Alisal's big plays have been through the air. So Seaside, again, power team, but showing a lot through the air too when they need it. So good for a 7-7 game. It's certainly not a high-scoring game, but both teams playing well. We've seen good plays by both skill players and in the trenches. I'll tell you who I'm really impressed with is the Isaac Duenas on Alisal. Good player, good leader.
Let me tell you a little story real quick before I start reading off some of the scores here around the league. Isaac Duenas, I wrote a story for the Voices of Monterey Bay. You can read the story at voicesofmontereybay.com. Isaac Duenas, his parents, hard-working family, get up at 5 a.m. every morning and then don't get home until about 7 or 8 in the evening from just working out in the fields all day. They were unable to see any of his games. He became this all-league lineman. Up until the first game of this season, his mom finally showed up to a game, and I got to write a little story about that moment. That was an exchange, beautiful moment. And you guys can definitely check that out, voicesofmontereybay.com. Comes from a wonderful family and just really exemplifies the Trojan pride here. As we look out onto the field, and you're going to see some of the halftime performance, and we're going to see in a minute a video package produced by our MCAETtv folks. But right now I just want to read some of the scores from our man John Devine, and you can check him out at John J. Devine on Twitter. Christopher has a 21-0 lead over King City. That is being reported in the second quarter right now. Anthony De Silva has a touchdown for Pacific Grove, and they're beating your team, Stevenson, 14-0 right now. Lupe Sanchez has North County up 6-0 over Greenfield. And Salinas has, this is reported just a bit ago, Salinas a 15-0 lead over Milpitas. And of course we're here at Alisal High School where the Trojans and the Spartans are tied up 7-7 here at halftime. So Bruce, great game so far.
Yeah, and a number of teams not playing this week too. I know Carmel has a bye. Several teams have, Monte Vista has a bye this week. That as they're going into league play now.
Right on. And so as we move on with this halftime, we're going to take a break, but right now we're going to see a nice little video package on the Alisal High School cheer team produced by the Mission Trails Regional Network magazine. So go ahead and check this out. We'll be back here in just a bit.
My name is Laura Vasquez. This is my second year as cheer advisor here at Alisal High. I currently have 86 girls. I had 220 girls try out for the cheer team. I had 110 that made the squads. So I have 3 squads, freshman, JV, and varsity. We practice Monday through Thursday from 4:15 to 6:15. The girls get out of school at 3 o'clock and they're required to go to tutorial from 3 to 4. And they're required, it's not if they want to. It's one of our mandatory things they need to do. They come to practice, we stretch, and then they get about an hour and 10 minutes to learn a routine of about a minute and 40 seconds that they will perform halftime during their game. So freshmen will perform during their freshman game, JV during their halftime, and varsity during their halftime. So each squad is learning a new routine every week. On top of learning their performance, they also need to keep practicing cheers, learning the crowd pleasers, and the defense and offense cheers that they need to perform during the game. So these girls, when they try out, we also need to fundraise. So we need to, I as an advisor need to organize fundraising because the school doesn't provide uniforms or any of the gear that they need. And so we need to fundraise. So we start in April, May, fundraising. And then it goes into the summer. So we have our conditioning all of June. And then in July, we fundraise harder to make, because that's the month that we need to order everything. And so we keep fundraising, and then we practice really hard for Jamboree. Because Jamboree, we have a halftime performance when our team plays. And for Jamboree, all 3 squads perform together. We currently don't have a GoFundMe, but they could contact Mr. Jose Gil through our Alisal Athletics. Anybody that would like to make a donation to Alisal Cheer, and it'll go straight to our account to help us out. And Mr. Gil has banners around the school giving recognition to those companies that offer donations to certain sports. It costs anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000 that the girls need to either pay themselves or fundraise. And I have like 3/4 of the girls fundraise, and others just choose to pay out of pocket. It's exciting. What I try to do, I try to change it up so that the girls can wear the same uniform for 2 years, so that it wouldn't be so expensive. We just change the liners up depending on the squad, because the freshmen wear white, the JV wear green, and the freshmen wear black, and the JV wear green, and varsity wears white. And so according to the level of color that you have, the girls know what squad they're in. So the goal is to get to white. Process of coming up with the routine is we come up with, we find music that in the music has to be no bad words, and so we try to not have any words at all, just music. And then according to the music, we the girls, my captains mainly, come up with a routine. So it could be from 28 counts to 38 counts that the girls need to learn by Friday. It's a lot of work, but a lot of these girls, it's in their blood. A lot of them have been doing it since they were like 7, 8 years old. So they're very dedicated, and that's one of the things that we promote is dedication. Without it, it's not going to work. Well, I graduated from Alisal High myself. I'm an alumni, and when I was here, I was a song leader. So different times, different requirements, and but I've had my nieces, and my daughter is currently a cheerleader. She's a JV. The school does provide transportation for us when we go to away games. So they provide us a bus to the game and then back home. So whenever the girls need to leave early, I have to fill out an early release form, and the activities director approves it and sends it out to the teachers. So our we work hard, but our priority above anything is their education. So right now we're doing grade checks. So like I said, they're required to go to tutorial from 3 to 4, and then they come here to practice. So I check tutorials to make sure that they're attending their tutorials, and that is to help them maintain their grades. So the girls need to maintain a 2.0, but in cheer we require them to maintain a 3.0. We push for it. And so last year I had a lot of girls get awarded because they had a 3.0 or higher. Well, I'm very proud to introduce my varsity cheer captains and my varsity presidents and ASB representatives. This is Paola Mojica, Alisandra Plasencia, Maria Castillo, and Citlali Cardona. How many years have you been doing cheer, Paola?
I've been cheering for 4 years, so this is my 4th year. I've been cheering for 12 years in total.
And here at Alisal, how many?
4.
I've been cheering for 3 years. I've been cheering for 3 years as well.
1, 2, 3. LETSGO, let's go Trojans! LETSGO, let's go! LETSGO, let's go Trojans! LETSGO, let's go!
I do want to add that these girls were chosen by their peers to be captains, to be president.
To me, being a cheerleader, it means being school-spirited, being positive, spreading positivity, and being a leader. For me, being a cheerleader is almost everything in the world to me. I've been doing it for such a long time that it just comes natural when I come out onto the field. I just know I'm ready to do things, what I need to be done, and just spread positivity, encouragement, and love to all my teammates and everybody else.
Being a cheerleader, for me, it's being a role model for any girls and just people in general, because there's a lot of there's a stigma around being a cheerleader that you're just what is seen on movies, but sometimes that's not the reality. And well, honestly, the reality, it's not like that. That stigma is, I don't think that we have it here at Alisal. All the girls are very nice, and we strive to be leaders in our community, in our community and at school. So I think that's what it means for me to be a cheerleader.
To me, being a cheerleader is being respectful and responsible, because little girls will be on the stand and they'll be like, oh, I want to be a cheerleader, and you just have to be their role model. And there's nothing like the feeling of going out onto the field and performing. It's just amazing.
So for me, it can be challenging to find time for it, since I have my classes and I'm also involved in 2 other clubs. But I think it's worth it seeing my routine being performed. How about you? Making a dance is very time consuming, but we all work together and collaborate, and we all throw in our ideas, and in the end, seeing it out on that field is really inspiring to keep wanting to make new dances each and every other week.
So this week we were presented with an obstacle and only a few of us were able to perform. So we had to come up with a dance on the spot, and I just want to thank our captains because they do put in a lot of time and effort into this.
I'd just like to advise people watching out there, especially ones that are in high school, to, if you want to try something out, since I know for me, when I was going to be a freshman, cheer was not my first option, but I tried it out and I really liked it. So if you want to try something new, go for it.
I want to jump on to Paola's idea. For me, trying new things, I think for a lot of people, when you think of cheer, it's kind of scary because it's something new, especially in high school. You come out as a freshman and you have all these upperclassmen, and trying this new thing, bringing out to the field, really put me out there to other experiences that I normally wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't joined in cheer.
It just really breaks you out of your shell, and it's great meeting new people that are gonna really be there and support you.
Go, 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 A-L-I-S-A-L-I. Go, 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 go.
All right, we are back live here, halftime, 7-7 here at Alisal High School. The Trojans and the Spartans tied up here, and we're about a couple minutes away from getting back to action on the field. I'm going to go ahead and read a couple more scores here, Bruce, that are being reported by our guy.
You sure you got that Stevenson Pacific Grove game correct?
Let me check that. Let me check if there's any updates for you, man, because we're on my home turf and I know my guys are doing good. So I want you to feel good too, man. John J. Devine on Twitter. He's reporting that North Salinas has a 6-0 lead over Monterey, and Jaime Soto actually scored a touchdown to give Greenfield a 7-6 lead over North County. Gunn has a 30-15 halftime lead over Marina, and John also reporting, of course, from here the tie score. Christopher has a 21-0 lead over King City. That's in the second quarter. And the last update was the same, that De Silva touchdown, PG up 14-0 over Stevenson. So we'll keep checking back on that score for you, man.
Thanks very much. Plenty of time in that game.
Plenty of time. Happy partner, happy life. So, I want to make you feel good here. But we're back here live at Alisal High School, and want to give a big shout out to Kent and Dylan for that amazing package that we just saw on the Alisal High cheer team. I know we were talking with a couple of cheer parents earlier, and get this, Bruce. Laura Vasquez, who is the cheer instructor for Alisal, that's my daughter's babysitter.
Is that why she's driving such a nice car?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She put her and her husband have matching Cadillac Escalades, man. It's a sight. It's a scene, man. But shout out to Laura, though. She's an amazing woman, and we love her to death. And her husband Chewy. Also, I got to give one personal shout out tonight, Bruce. You were asking me if there was any other place I'd rather be tonight. There is one place that I'd rather be, and that is at home wishing my son Hunter a happy 18th birthday. He is 18 years old.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Hunter!
Happy birthday, a senior at Salinas High School. So my wife is a cowgirl, so she won that battle, and looks like my daughters will be cowgirls too. So can't win them all, Bruce.
Well, let me ask you this: congratulations, Dad, 18-year-old son. You don't look like it.
I appreciate that.
Was there? What teacher here or teachers were, had a really positive influence on you?
I'll mention quite a few. Mr. Espinosa was our history teacher. He's the first teacher that taught me Chicano history, so he was very influential for me. I just ran into Mr. Egan, my old English instructor. He was
still here.
Just ran into him just a bit ago. And he's still going strong. Been here for decades now, and former football coach. He was a football coach my freshman year here. But if there's one teacher that I think everyone on this campus would shout out, That would be Miss Albano, Jane Albano. So Miss Albano, if you happen to be watching this, I love you, and I hear that this potentially could be your last year. So if it is, you've just been an amazing presence here. She was a member of the original graduating class here at Alisal High School 50 years ago, and she came back as a teacher and has been teaching here for I don't know how many decades, but she is just that one. She's an institution here.
Oh, bless her heart.
Woman.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So Miss Albano, Alisal loves you. We all love you. So shout out to Miss Albano.
Well,
and shout out to Principal Ernesto Garcia and Vice Principal Rito Contreras and the administration staff, Alisal High School. Shout out to the Athletic Director Jose Gil for the great hospitality today. Set us up really nice to be on the field out here early in the game. Alisal does it right here, man. I can't sing their praises enough. Obviously, I'm biased, but we back it up here with our Trojan pride.
Well, I sure like what we're seeing. We got a great home crowd, a lot of enthusiasm, great participation in the band. Of course, we talked about the cheer squad, and now you've got all the JV cheer squad cheering on the varsity cheer squad. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And Friday Night Lights here on MCAETtv, we capture it all for you here as we get ready for the action on the field. Wonderful atmosphere here at Alisal High School as we kick off the second half. And in a tight game like this, Bruce, what's the message that you try to deliver at halftime?
Just no mental mistakes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got to play error-free football. I mean, the score's 0-0. Now starting off, we've had a good performance. We've got to take it up a level. We've got to break some of those inside runs. Really the bread and butter for both of these teams. So, the team that makes the fewest mistakes at this point could come out on top. Yeah.
And that's a touchback for the Spartans. They'll get the ball marked down at the 20-yard line. And that's going to be 12 minutes on the clock with a fresh clock. One more half of football to go here. Both sides, it's just been a dead even matchup here. Obviously on the scoreboard, but also just in the level of play here on the field.
I'll tell you, Abraham Montano's got a foot. He's got a boot. He's put a couple back in the end zone and done a great job as a kicker.
I'll have to check it, but I'm going to assume he's on our championship soccer team now. We produce so many great soccer stars here. And that's going to be a handoff over to Christian Nieves over the left-hand side. And the crowd responding to a vicious hit there.
By Corona.
And I don't know if I saw a flag on the field.
That's they are desperately trying to get the head out of football. They might have seen a little head-to-head there. Oh, waved off.
Okay. Well, when you see big hits like that, you just get a little nervous here. These guys are playing their hearts out.
And most people are starting to practice the hawk tackling, the Pete Carroll Seattle Seahawk method of tackling, which is more in the rugby style. So you're seeing less and less of the head-on collisions.
And Cortez gets in trouble, and he is met in the backfield by a pair of Trojans. It looked like number 60, Alexis Lopez.
And Rodriguez.
Yeah, they
Ezekiel Rodriguez.
Both in on that hit. That'll get marked back at least 6 yards. Ball marked down at the 15-yard line, rather. 11:26 to go here in the second half, in the third quarter. Cortez in the shotgun. And he's going to just keep this one, go straight up the middle, and he gets pounded.
That's Ezekiel Rodriguez again. Came up hard to make that stop.
Yeah, and Cortez just hit a wall. And that'll be 4th and long for the Spartans.
No question what they're going to do here. They're going to try to push this back if they can.
They've gotten a couple of pretty good bounces on their punts so far, so see if they can go for 3 for 3.
Yeah, we've got, is that Estrada back?
Yeah, 33.
Yeah, Anthony Estrada.
And that's a high snap.
Some pressure. Got it off.
And that one's going to go flat and take a bit of a Trojan bounce. That one's going to be inside Seaside territory now. Ball marked down at the 48 with 10:32 to go here in the third quarter. Trojans with really excellent field position to start this their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come out, if they come out throwing or they come out grinding it out on the ground again.
This might be Duena's time, man. Big boy like that. You got to imagine that engine really gets revved up for these. He lives for these third and fourth quarters.
I think so. Look at this.
Trojan at the line of scrimmage. Renteria under center. Takes a snap, and it's a pitch over the left-hand side to Corona. Corona fighting with a gang of Seaside defenders on his back.
Ultimately, Salinas threw the pile to the ground. I think he got tired of moving backwards and just decided he's going to throw that pile to the ground.
But Corona with a good, strong 3-yard gain, rather 4-yard gain on that, and that will be second and about 6. Ball marked down at the 45-yard line.
It's a good angle for our viewers to just see how that Alisal line is getting off the ball.
Great camera work there by our team, and that's going to be a handoff on the right-hand side, and that's Estrada with cutting through, getting some nice yardage there. That's going to be a first down. Ball marked at about the 37-yard line.
So again, staying with their strength, running off the back of Duenas.
And when you got a mountain like that to move you just follow it.
Any schools that he's looking at or looking at him, do you know?
I'm unaware currently, but I mean, you see a 6'3", 330-pound specimen out there. What's the first thing that comes in your mind, man?
You can't coach size, and you can't coach speed.
That is Division I level strength and speed with Duenas.
Second and 8 for the Trojans.
And that'll be a gain of about 2 yards there. Ball marked down inside the 35-yard line, just inside the 35 with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Football fans, join us next week as the Alisal.
So we want to just give a shout out to the CW, who is going to be broadcasting our games, and I want to thank them for joining us as a sponsor. So shout out to the CW. With a nice handoff.
Sweet there.
And then it goes over to Corona, finds some good yards. That's going to be close to a first down.
Ramirez coming over from that linebacker spot to clean that up.
3rd down and 1.
So while we have a second, can you tell us a little bit about our film crew tonight?
Oh, absolutely. We have a bunch of students here from Millennium Charter High School, and this is the same crew that's going to be going with us each and every week. So these are juniors and seniors who attend the charter school, and they're in my media production class.
They're doing a great job tonight, I'll tell you.
Hard. And that is going to be a handoff, and Segovia trying to fight for that first down. This is going to be all dependent on where they mark it. I think he may have gotten just enough, maybe a nose. We're waiting for the referee's call.
Right.
And they're going to say we're still waiting for a call from the referees. I want to give a shout out to the camera crew team, though.
They're going to call for the chains.
And as we get a measurement here, shout out to our camera operators. We have Gabriel Mesa, Dakota Bradshaw, Wyatt Foxworthy, Veronica Ibarra, Lorena and Barbara Avachuco Urias, Skylar. I'm blanking on Skylar's last name here. I'm trying to go off the cuff here. Andrew Palafox, Johanna Podillo, and Santiago Grijalva on our squad here today, and Raymond Escamilla as well. So that's our camera ops crew, and they're a great team. I'm really fortunate to work with them. As we get a first down call on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty fortuitous. I'll give a quick shout out to our referee. That's Ronnie Higgins, who's one of the head referee in our local area. Ronnie does all the scheduling of officials, and he's our referee tonight, White Hat, who's the head of the crew out there. We've got Dave Anderson, John Thornburg, Woody Nebal, and Brian Coleman is that officiating team tonight too.
Renteria back in the pocket, has a receiver open, and that's going to get, oh man, close to being picked off, but that was Nicholas Enriquez looks like that was who it was intended for.
Well, the best thing he could have done there was to bat down that own pass.
He pretty much played cornerback on that one.
He did. He got a hand in there and knocked it down. That's a tough pass to throw into double coverage like that.
Yeah, and so for a second, he had a step on him, but
he did.
The quarterback just couldn't get the ball out quick enough.
A little bit underthrown, but
Renteria waiting for the play, and it's coming in. Looks like Ibarra will bring in the play and then go line up wide. So we have 2nd down and 10, ball marked at the the 27-yard line. 7:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and that's going to be a pitch over to Estrada. Estrada moving, trying to find some room, and he'll get the ball down inside the 25, close to the 24-yard line.
Dylan Oliveras came over from that at that defensive end position. His job is contain. Nobody's supposed to get outside of him, and he did a great job making the tackle. So his job is to stretch that play laterally as far as it'll go, and if it means going out of bounds or out to the sideline, he's doing his job, driving the guy as far as he can laterally, just so they're not able to get around that corner.
3rd down and about 6 yards to go here. Ball marked out at the 23 we're reaching the 7-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Renteria under center, takes a snap, and that's going to be, he faked the handoff, and that's going to get pitched around a little bit. And we'll see Alisal. Did Alisal regain control? Yes. Alisal maintains control on a really risky pitch there. And Renteria looked like just at the last second tried to...
Did he try to pull that out? I couldn't tell from my angle.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to pull the trigger just at the very last second, and that ball just it ricocheted off of the runner's hands there. And
when you're running that option, the quarterback's the only one who's got his mind made up, and it's a split-second decision.
Yeah.
So he's putting the ball in there, and if you're the running back, you're either going to get it or the quarterback is going to pull it.
Right.
So it's this timing. It takes a lot of practice, but it's not in there until it's in there securely.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down. Renteria is back. He has a receiver open, and that's going to be complete to the left-hand side, and that's going to be a completion to Nicholas Enriquez. And for a 1st down.
Testing Elijah Washington there, made the stop.
And Enriquez just... He was draped by a couple of defenders there, but Renteria made a really nice throw and found him in the flat there.
So Alisal using their in the old days used to send the plays in with guards.
Yeah,
they had what they called shuttle guards, and they would move the guards in and out of and send the plays in there. You're using the shuttle receivers tonight.
Yeah, Ibarra is the messenger here with Renteria under center. Takes it back, and he's going to throw another little seam there, and that's going to be another touchdown to Ibarra.
Yeah.
And that was a 13-yard completion, and that was just like a a little wheel route there? He just went straight down the field there.
Yeah, and it's just a total timing play. 1/1000, the ball's out of his hand, and just throws it up there. They must practice that a lot.
Yeah, Ibarra just knew exactly when to turn his head, and the ball was just right there in his hands pretty much. So great pass there from Renteria. Great anticipation by Ibarra, and the Trojans take a 13-7 lead pending the extra point.
Safe play, good play to make. The risk is that you're going to throw it out of the back of the end zone. So what Ibarra does is his job to get behind his defender. So if he's on the backside of his defender, that ball's coming over the top. Right. So he doesn't really need to look until the last minute. They've practiced that so many times. It's that 1/1000 count of the quarterback, and he knows right where that ball's going to be.
Yeah, and Seaside defenders were kind of storming in on that one as we see the replay there, but he had the advantage there, and they weren't able to close in on it to even disrupt it. He just had it.
And this is a rule that I just don't understand, is that if the defense encroaches, it's a redo. And so why wouldn't a defense encroach every time?
Yeah. To disrupt the kick,
to disrupt the kick.
Yeah.
And it's So, you know, a nice extra point for Alisal to take the lead 14-7.
Yep. With 5:29 to go here in the third quarter, the Trojans take their lead. And we got some cheerleaders doing the push-ups. That's 14. I think that's 14 push-ups for them. They have to do a push-up for each point. So hopefully they don't have to. Hopefully the Trojans don't. Well, actually, hopefully they do score, but hopefully this is the last round of push-ups for the cheerleaders, because that's a lot of push-ups to do in the cold on Friday night.
Yeah, but they probably love it. What's the other option?
Yeah, I know the Alisal side loves it here. 14-7, the Trojans take the lead here with 5:29 to go in the third quarter. Marcus Cabrera with Bruce Deeney. Friday Night Lights, MCAETtv. We are live here from Alisal High School, and the Trojans will kick it off, and that's going to be Abraham Montano, place kicker for the Trojans. Back to get it. We know that Robinson's back there.
Got Robinson and Cortez is back there. That's Robinson bobbling that ball.
Lost that and does recover it, going over to his left, and he's going to turn a corner, but he's going to get hemmed up at about the 18-yard line there. So Robinson recovers and gets a little something going there. May have been, well, just 2 yards short of where a touchback would have been.
Hard to see that ball sometimes at night. It bounced right off his helmet, but
yeah.
Nice job coming down with that.
Yeah, and it showed his awareness there, being able to recover that. Because that can be a scary moment. Ball down at the 18. Cortez will fall back. He's been playing in the shotgun most of the game. And there's that little screen pass in the flat. That's going to be hit to...
That's Salinas.
Salinas, and he's going to get maybe a yard on that one. But like you were saying earlier, those little bubble passes, that's their run game.
And Corona did a good job pushing him out of bounds.
Second down and about 10 with 5 minutes, 14 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cortez with the handoff to Robinson. Robinson finding his way, moving around, and he gets about 3 yards there on that carry. That'll be a third down and 7. Ball marked inside the 20-yard line at the 21-yard line.
We'll call it 3rd and 7. The Seaside 21-yard line.
So Robinson had a couple of big plays early on, but has been hemmed up pretty well here, at least from the second quarter on by the Trojans. And there's an option play, and Robinson gets tackled. And that was looked like number 60, Alexis Lopez.
Alexis Lopez in on that. Got him by the shoes.
Yeah, and Lopez, again, we're calling his name again. We've been calling his name quite a bit here on the defensive side for the Trojans.
Doing a good job inside there for the Alisal defense.
And that'll be 4th and 3 for the Spartans, and they're going to have to punt. And Coach Chidas has to love that. Team gets the early quarter score and gets a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, hopefully they'll wind up with some field position here.
And that punt is going to land at midfield. It's going to take another Trojan bounce, and that's going to be spotted somewhere near the 46-yard line. Looks like the refs are marking it at the 45 with 3:55 to go here in the third quarter. Alisal with a 14-7 lead, and we're going to take a quick break here. We will be right back.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
We are back here, and hand off to Corona there.
Brought down by Ramirez.
That is about a 3-yard gain. That'll get the ball down to about the 41-yard line. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ibarra coming back in.
And Seaside not giving up too much on defense. It's they're bending right now. They're bending.
Renteria under center. Hands off over to Segovia. Segovia gets about 4, maybe 5 yards on that run.
Pick up of another 3. Taking it to the Spartan 39-yard line.
That ball get marked down at the 39. Third and about 4 to go here. We are under the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. Alisal Trojans trying to extend their 14-7 lead.
Jacob Salinas came up, made that stop. Taking a little break now.
Renteria under center at the line of scrimmage. Hands it off again. Segovia still fighting for those yards.
Boy, that's close to the first down right now.
I think he earned it, but we'll see what the referees decide. He got hit pretty hard there, trying to stretch that one out, and he was a little bit upright.
Yeah, if that's the ball placement, it looks like they might have gotten it. There they go.
That will be a first down for Segovia. So well-earned first down by Segovia there.
He kept pushing, kept his feet going. He moved that pile another foot or two, and that was the difference there.
And as it gets a little bit chillier here, and I know those hits, you start to feel them a little bit more. They start to sting a little more as the night progresses.
Well, Seaside has been on their defense has been on the field a lot tonight. They're and that big Alisal front line.
This is a pitch over to Estrada as he goes to the right-hand side. He gets about 3, maybe 4 yards on that pitch. That'll be second down to about 7.
He's hit pretty hard by Trayvon Campbell over there.
1 minute and 39 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ball marked down at the 32-yard line for the Trojans there in Seaside territory. And Coach Chaija is just taking his time, being very deliberate, getting the play calls in.
Using the clock well. He's using the clock very well.
Yeah. Segovia going up the middle, fighting.
Really stretching.
And just using that body of his to get every inch that he can. Really impressive to see just the power behind his running.
Very got a great second effort. He keeps his feet moving. He's got a great second effort. So we're seeing that on really every time he touches the ball.
Third down and about 4 yards to go. Ball marked inside the 30-yard line, about the 29. We are approaching the 30-second mark here in the third quarter as this game is moving along at a really rapid pace. Renteria under center hands it off to Segovia, who just pounds his way over the left-hand side.
Brought down by we got somebody down there.
We have an injured player on the field for Seaside.
So
and that's going to lead to a timeout.
Marcos, if you can for a second, talk a little bit about Alisal soccer program.
Oh, Alisal soccer program, absolutely. They are back-to-back champions, I know that, and they just recently, today actually, put up a banner out here on the soccer field. Last year, they were Northern California. They represent Northern California. We wound up getting a state championship, even though they did lose in the CCS playoffs. I believe they made the championship round, but they were able to compete in the state playoffs, and they brought home a state title. So just a really proud program. Even back when I was playing, or back when I was attending school here, the soccer program was just a complete point of pride, and it's just a tribute to all the wonderful work that the coaches out there do. And this community here, and East Salinas in particular, but Salinas in general, it is just soccer happy out here as we have reached the end of the third quarter. 14-7, the Trojans are holding on to a lead. We will be right back after this break.
We'd like to give another special shout out to number 21, Israel Corona, and number 32, Dorian Segovia. And this shout out comes to you from the ASB.
back for the fourth quarter here. And it is Alisal High School holding on to a 14-7 lead here. Alisal's going to reclaim the ball at about the 32-yard line. It's going to be 4th and about 2 for the Trojans.
Hey folks, this just came in.
And you know, you got Isaac Duenas up there in the middle. You got to think if they're going to go for it on fourth down here, just go right behind Duenas and handle your business.
And look, just a quick shout out to Javon Dunklin, who was the injured Seaside player, went off the field on his own accord, but hopefully he'll be back in soon.
And it looks like the Trojans may have gotten defensive offsides there. That's going to be an encroachment call against the Spartans, and that'll be a first down for Alisal. So it looks like they don't have to rely on their big linemen. They'll finally get that offsides call that they didn't get.
Well, you know, that's the second time tonight that the Alisal front line has been really disciplined. They come up with that hard count, and they've gotten the defense to jump.
Renteria under center. Segovia in the backfield. He's got a nice line there. He's going to get it close to a first down. He's going to get a first down. That ball will be marked at about the 11-yard line for the Trojans. First down at the 11-yard line for Alisal. 11:55 on the clock here. Left in the game. Alisal, if they can get this touchdown here, they will be in really good shape.
Well, we talked earlier about the you know, what's the margin in a close game, and it's the mental errors, and so that's 2 now pretty crucial fourth downs,
right?
Where Alisal's been able to convert.
As Renteria takes the handoff, and the option gives it over, fakes it over to Segovia, but hands it off to Estrada, and Estrada doesn't get much going on that play.
Danced around a little bit, but there was nowhere to go at that point. There was a pile of Spartans.
Good penetration by the Spartans there, able to knock over the Alisal line. One of the few times that they really managed to do that. And it'll be Enriquez bringing in the play as Renteria leads his team back to the line of scrimmage. Segovia in the backfield, and it's going to be a pitch over to Corona. Corona has some room over the left side. He leaps in.
Wow. That's one for the highlight film right there.
And Alisal really wants that touchdown call pretty bad, but they're not going to get it. That's going to be marked down close to the goal line.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. The referees confirm on that.
And I don't know if we'll get a chance to see this again, but he just flung his body. And it didn't look like he stepped out. He was going at that angle, but just a matter of where that ball crossed.
Yeah, and if we get the replay, and that was a pretty tremendous play there, and that'll give the Trojans a 20-7 lead pending the point after here, as the cheerleaders line up, and they're probably going to have to do 21 push-ups like I mentioned before.
Well, you know, that setup on the running of Dorian Segovia and Anthony Estrada, and you've got Israel Corona takes it in to finish. So it's great teamwork there. Good and good play calling by Coach Chuddies.
Yeah. And so this will be Abraham Montano going for his third extra point of the game. The snap comes in, and that is a good kick. And Seaside trying to get in there and disrupt
well,
it.
I think he might. I think James Davis might have gotten a little head start on that, but
head full of steam on that one. Alisal takes a 21-7 lead, rather 21-7 lead with 10:46 to go, and the Trojans are really in business here, in great shape with the rest of the fourth quarter here. Coach Avila's got his work cut out for him.
Well, they're going to have to do something a little bit different. They're going to have to put the ball up, try to get some yards through the air. Seaside really likes to be a ball control team toward the end of the game. they've been historically very good at just swallowing up the clock, and now it's the tables are turned. They're going to have to be the aggressor. They're going to have to take some risks. There's not enough time to just grind it out in the fourth quarter.
And all eyes will be on Tristan Cortez as soon as the Seaside Spartans recover the ball for this possession.
And I think they're going to want the ball in the hands of Elijah Robinson in this fourth quarter.
Montano with the kick, and that's going to go to the back of the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and Montano with the boot, giving the Trojans great field position for their defense. And just the value of someone like Montano, you almost can't measure it with statistics when he's booting the ball into the end zone consistently.
You just take away the return game for the other team, and when you think about it, in terms of your player safety and the net benefit of what a shorter kick might do, if you can kick it in the end zone, kick it in the end zone.
Yeah,
and go play defense.
Cortez with the option, and that is going to go over the right-hand side. That goes to Trayvon Campbell. He's going to get a gain of about maybe 2-3 yards there. 2nd and 8. So Coach Avila calling a little conservative to start off this quarter.
Well, they're in that spread offense, so we got one back at this point.
Cortez in the shotgun takes the snap. And another one of those little
throwing
screen
that
passes.
Little smoke screen there on this.
And I think Alisal defender, I can't tell, but is there a flag on the field? I thought I saw something thrown on. Maybe I was wrong. It looked like an Alisal defender had grabbed a little face mask, but maybe not. Oh, nope, I was right. That was going to be a personal foul against the Trojans defense. And so you mentioned earlier mistake-free play, and
that's a big one.
Something like that, where you're looking at it was about 3rd and 7. Now you got first down. And the ball's near the 40-yard line for the Spartans. Marked down to 38 with 10.
One way to get out of a tough third down situation.
Cortez in the shotgun takes the snap, goes to his left side.
Going downfield.
Looking downfield.
There's a little wheel route.
Oh! And that is going to be a flag.
There's going to be a flag on Anthony Estrada there.
Ball intended for Rusty Finona. And that looked like a really good battle downfield, but Estrada just came in, probably just closed in a little too quick on that one. Didn't give Finona enough room there at the point of attack on the ball.
Holding called against the Trojans.
And that's a holding.
Interesting.
That's a holding call
from
I don't know,
because the official on our side called that, and it must have been
the flag fell out of the official's pocket initially, and I wasn't sure if it was a call, but then he picked it up and he threw it. I don't know if we'll get a replay on that, but nonetheless, the ball will be
we'll watch the replay next week.
Yeah,
that's what we'll do.
Cortez in the shotgun after a couple of Alisal penalties set up the Spartans near the 50.
Nevis out there in space.
But Corona and a couple of other defenders were right there in his face for second, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And Ruiz came in and helped make that stop.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 for
Nothing doing for the Spartans offense.
38 left in the fourth.
Cortez with the option, gives the handoff. That was over to Campbell, but nothing going again. So
Alisal really putting the pressure on that time. They brought Rodriguez up in a blitz, really put the pressure on, made that stop.
And that was a loss for 2, so that'll be 3rd and 12. And the Alisal defense, when they're playing disciplined ball, they've been really able to stop the Spartans here. Cortez getting tremendous pressure now, being chased out of the pocket. He's going to try to hold on to it, spinning around, and gets stopped short of the original line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 4th down and long.
Alisal, out of their 4-3 defense, just goes into a straight zone, four deep zone on that one.
Yeah, nothing going downfield. The Trojan defensive backs doing a really great job to deny Cortez any sort of open receiver. And the Spartans in desperation mode now. They're going to go for it 4th and long at their own 48-yard line, 47-yard line. Cortez in the shotgun formation. Campbell with a little bit of backfield motion. Cortez takes a snap, goes to his left-hand side, looking for a receiver, has time. Now he has to scramble, and he's just going to throw that away to an invisible receiver, and that's going to be a turnover and downs.
And there's a flag thrown at the end of the play.
That's Ronnie Higgins. I think he didn't believe there was a Spartan player close enough that was actually on the field.
Yeah, that's an invisible receiver out there, and they will call the intentional grounding.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at. It's the right thing for a quarterback to do, to throw the ball out of bounds, but you got to make sure that you
got to get it out. You got to get it actually out of bounds at the very least.
From where it took place.
And so that'll
and they were running a little flood to the trip side. So,
and he had some time.
Yeah, but he got pushed back to that at that point, the empty side of the field. So they had nowhere to go.
And the Trojans get tremendous field position at the 32 with 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in the game. And there goes Segovia dancing and jumping up the middle. Really excellent run for about 12 yards. That'll get marked down inside the 20 with 8 minutes. We're approaching the 8-minute mark.
Oh, I don't like seeing this out there. We've got Isaac Duenas limping.
Well, he is favoring his leg there. And so we'll watch this little replay here. We see Segovia just getting tons of room there. Little jump over the defender gives them an extra 3 or 4 yards. But we have an injury on the field. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in a few minutes for the final 8 minutes of Alisal versus Seaside. Stay tuned. And we are back, and
Duenas has to come off for one play.
Right, and the beautiful thing is he jumped up like he was pretty angry at himself, but he's dusting it off and he's looking good. Alisal can't afford to lose him, so he's gonna want to get back onto the field.
Good to see him moving around well. Yeah. Ready to get back on the field.
He wants to get back on that field right now. If I'm Coach Chaidez, I might just stand right in front of him for at least a couple of plays, and let the rest of the boys handle the business. But you know, linemen in the red zone.
Seaside on their heels right now.
And here's the handoff. That's going to go over to Corona. Looks like over the right side, and he's going to get a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards on that. That ball getting marked near the 17-yard line.
I think that was Hernandez.
Oh, is that Hernandez?
Yeah, it looked like Jose
right.
Hernandez.
Okay, so Jose Hernandez.
First carry of the night, running well.
So I didn't know if Duenas did get back into the game, but by all accounts, it looks like he's going to be okay. Alisal has the ball inside the 20 at about the 17, under 7 minutes to go here.
Duenas is back in.
He's a lineman.
Right guard.
And that's going to be a handoff. Segovia again getting some great yardage. This will be third down and about 2.
And Duenas pulling to the play side on that play, sealing off that edge. Doing a good job. So showing mobility, looks good.
Yep. And that's what you want to see, man. Third down at about 3 yards to go. Ball marked down at about the 13-yard line. We're approaching the 6-minute mark here in the game. Alisal in full control here as the Spartans. Just not enough manpower here.
Well, and Steve and the Seaside defense has been on the field seeming like all night.
Yes.
So the fatigue's got to be setting in just a little bit, especially on the interior.
And that's going to pitch over to Corona. He has some room over the left-hand side. He's trying to turn that corner. will get the first down, and it's going to be close to the end zone there.
Corona knows what to do over there, apparently.
And he's getting tremendous space out in that area. So we know he loves the left side. He could sniff the end zone. That ball get marked down at the 3 with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the game.
Well, and that's one thing about if you're playing a lateral game like that, it really stretches the defense. And you think about how much the linebackers have to move from side to side. So at this point in the game, fatigue could be an issue there.
Oh yeah, and especially like you mentioned earlier, with only about 30, 35 deep on the Seaside.
Correct.
Not enough depth there to rotate, your playmakers.
And they're testing Dylan Oliveros, the sophomore, who's playing very well. He extended that play.
And we're going to have a timeout on the field with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go here. So we're going to take a quick break. 21-7, Alisal High has the lead. We'll be back in a moment.
This program on MCAETtv is brought to you in part by the good folks from General Services at the Monterey County Office of Education, with leadership, support, and service to prepare all students for success.
Next Friday as the Alisal Trojans take on the Vikings of North Salinas High. We'll have a special
and we are back here with 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Friday Night Lights, live from Alisal High School, MCAETtv. I'm Marcos Cabrera, and I'm here with my partner,
Bruce Deeney.
And next week, we'll be heading out to Greenfield. So
nice.
South County, South Monterey County, here we come.
Nothing like a Greenfield sunset on a Friday night.
It'll be Greenfield High School versus Harbor High for week 3 of Friday Night Lights on MCAETtv as the Trojans line up near the end zone, and that's going to be a handoff over to Segovia, and he's going to get his first touchdown of the game.
Nice little inside handoff to Segovia.
And he was barely touched on that, man.
He just went right through.
Big hole for Segovia as he gets in there for a nice little 2-yard touchdown run. Trojans with a 27-7 lead. 4 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game.
Just a little full block on the left side of that line, and Segovia. I don't think anyone touched him.
I don't think so either. I mean, he just hit that hole, and next thing he knew, he was at the end of the end zone. And we're gonna get a flag, and I feel like the Seaside Spartans have been called for an encroachment on almost every extra point here.
Well, it's if you're gonna play aggressively on any play, there's no penalty to the offending team,
right?
For an encroachment on an extra point.
Yeah,
it simply disrupts the kicking team.
But it doesn't phase. So far, hasn't phased Montano with his big boot there, as he gets ready to line up. The hold, and it's good, and that's gonna wind up in the parking lot at Alisal Elementary School, Alisal Community School.
So Montano perfect tonight.
Yes, 4 for 4 for extra points,
and put it in the end zone every kick.
Yeah, and props to Montano just for everything that he's provided to the Trojan side of the ball. As the cheerleaders complete their push-ups. 28-7, under 5 minutes to go here in the game, and the band is packing it up.
I think the cheerleaders have earned their milkshake after the game.
Definitely, 5th quarter, there should be milkshakes and burgers and fries on deck.
Well, interesting turn tonight. I'm a little surprised to see Seaside bending so much on defense, not able to stop the Alisal attack. Alisal, on the other hand, has looked very good.
And, it's just Coach Avila and his crew being in that Gavilan division this year. It's going to be a struggle for them, at least from what we're seeing so far tonight.
Well, Seaside is a school that is used to punching above their weight. They do it every year.
Absolutely.
And as one of the smaller schools in the Gavilan division, they've done it year in, year out. Seaside, the student population is about 1,100. It's up to 1,100 at this point. Of course, one of the bigger schools in the county when Fort Ord was still here, but
Right.
once the Army pulled out, the school was pretty much halved.
And the Spartans have pretty much waved the white flag as it looks like number 1, Jesse Gonzalez, is in under center. And the other thing, I've given props to my Trojans all night, but I have to give tremendous props. You mentioned it earlier, but Coach Al Avila is just so revered and respected in all athletic circles here in the county. And he's just such a tremendous asset to that community. The leadership that he brings, the tradition that he brings, and just his understanding of that community and what he's able to do with his team every year. It's remarkable.
He's such a role model and a great role model to so many young men on the Monterey Peninsula, and he's been doing it year in, year out. That's a great.
Gonzalez completes the pass to James Davis.
He really got up there and got that. I don't know who that's going to be on, but
and it looked like the Trojan,
Trojan
nice
defender
had a handful of jersey on that one, but Davis managed to pull down that reception.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be defensive.
Yeah. So so Gonzalez with a great completion there to Davis. And the Seaside Spartans are going to try to get something going. No one's told them that the game is over yet, at least.
And Coach Avila surrounds himself with a great staff year in, year out. And just a shout out to the assistant coaches on both teams and around the league.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of the most thankless jobs. I would say that for any offensive or defensive coordinator, it's a 40-hour-a-week job on top of their real job that about pays for gas. and these guys love the game of football, and they love kids. And as a coach, I'll tell you, they're just wonderful people to be around.
Yeah, absolutely. As that ball is completed over to Campbell, and he's going to get enough for a first down. That'll get marked down at about the 27 with 3 minutes to go. One thing I really love about what Coach Avila brings is he's so in tune with the culture, with the ethnic culture there. Seaside is such a diverse community, and it's reflected in the coach. He's African American, but he also claims his Native American roots too, and it's really incredible to witness, how in tune he is with that, and they have a really great Pacific Islander Polynesian community out of there, and he's always promoting that on his teams.
Oh, that's picked up. Looks like it's picked up by Lopez. He's been working hard in there all night long, and he comes up with that fumble.
And Gonzalez loses the ball. Just held on to it just a bit too long. Looked like he might have had a receiver open down the field, but just didn't see that defender hit him to the back. As we are under 3 minutes here left in the game, Alisal with the 28-7 lead. And yeah, how long has it been since you've been out to my neighborhood here? Has it been a while? Have you ever made this trek out here?
Last year I was out scouting a game, but it's impressive tonight. The show that the field looks great. The crowd's been great. Good sportsmanship all the way around. It's exactly what you want to see on a high school football game on a Friday night.
Absolutely, and it's
and thanks to Alisal for being great host tonight.
Yeah, and this is how we do it out here in the East Side. This is how we do it over here in the Alisal. It's all one big family. We're out here to support our students, our student athletes, our scholar athletes.
I will say, driving by a couple of fields on my way out, there was not a blade of grass that wasn't being used by a youth soccer program.
Yeah, absolutely. That grass is precious out here, and we try to build dreams out here with every plot of grass we can. So
well, that's why it's nice to see so much success with the Alisal soccer program, and a successful sports program. There's spillover, and so there's probably no surprise that the football program is on the upswing.
handoff
so great to finish up with a great run last year and a phenomenal season. And by all means, this Seaside's a good football team. They're a physical football team. They're fast, and they've really been controlled by Alisal here tonight. So hats off to Coach Shuddies and the Alisal program. They are in great shape tonight, and it's super nice to see Isaac Duenas moving around well on the sideline.
Yeah, Duenas, just the anchor of that line and the heart and soul of this team. It's nice to see the Trojans with some really great playmakers, with Renteria, with Corona, with Ibarra, and of course with Segovia. They are poised to make some noise here in league as league play begins. Assuming this lead holds up, the Trojans will move up to 2-2 with their overall record. Seaside is going to drop to 0-3, and just as league play begins, it's going to be a tough road for them, but we are going to wish Seaside nothing but success for this school year.
Well, they're healthy going into league. They've got speed. They've got a little bit of size, and it's a gritty program. And I know that if anyone has them ready for league, it'll be Coach Avila.
As the clock winds down, we are approaching the 2-minute mark here.
Still need a first down.
And that's going to get marked down just short of the 45-yard line. That'll be fourth down and about 2 for the Alisal Trojans, as we are under 2 minutes. 1 minute and 50 seconds to go here in the game. Crowd's thinning out, and the wind is starting to pick up here, as the Trojans will attempt.
So you just punt the ball away at this point and
yeah,
play a little defense.
Play a little defense, make sure no one gets hurt. Get ready for next week. How are you liking this gig so far, Bruce?
So far, so good. Nice working with you, Marcus. It's a lot of fun.
It's my pleasure, man. It's great to have a partner who I can lean on, just knows the game. As we are at 1 minute and 17 seconds to go, the Trojans will take a timeout.
Any score updates from around the league?
You know, I was just about to go ahead and check in with my guy at John J. Devine on Twitter. So Salinas, they are going to have a 25-0 win against Milpitas, and
that's a rematch of the playoffs last week.
They're going to get a revenge from a D1 title game for Salinas here. And Christopher 28-0 over King City. So that gets maintained.
Shout out to number 20, Kayla.
And let's see. And Monterey has a 10-6 lead. The last we got was a 10-6 lead over North Salinas. That was a bit ago. So
Monterey over North Salinas at this point.
So not too many games to report updates on.
Well, props to Coach Lusk over at Monterey, new coach this year, doing a good job.
Yeah. And we mentioned him on the broadcast last week, so that keeps going. And I don't know if he touched that, but he decided that he needed to pick that up, and he has
big
a seam.
There.
And that's going to be, we don't have a name on that.
That was a big block by Dylan Oliveros, but that may come back.
Yeah.
I think they might say he got him from the
and it's Corona
from behind.
Corona trying to point at the flag on the field to remind the refs, hey, got a flag over here.
Well, that was a big run. You hate to see that come back, but looks like that might have been a block in the back.
Yep, block in the back. Personal foul. And that's going to come back, and looks like they're going to mark the ball near the 35-yard line, as we don't have a name for that player on the roster, but that was a really tremendous run, even if it was in vain, even if the effort was in vain. Nice run. As we got 57 seconds left in the game here, Bruce.
Okay, we've got under a minute. We'll probably expect to see just a victory formation
Well, since Seaside has,
Seaside ball. I'm
has
sorry,
the
yeah,
ball, we're going to probably see a couple of plays here.
Yeah.
We might see Gonzalez air it out a little bit.
My fault.
Get a couple of reps. And here he goes. He's launching it. He has a receiver, and that was CJ de Guzman. Couldn't get any separation, and the ball was thrown maybe about 3 or 4 yards ahead of him anyways.
Jesse Gonzalez showing he's got an arm, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And he can move.
And it has a nice quick release there too. The way, even though he stretches out there, I like the way he's getting the ball out of time.
Yes, and he's good runner too. Nice that he's getting some reps here tonight.
And that's going to be an option. Going to go up the middle and to the left. That's going to be Campbell.
Trayvon Campbell. Yeah.
Campbell's had a couple of nice runs here tonight.
Yes, he has. Good, solid runner.
Yeah. Sophomore. So that could be someone that Avila is eyeing as a future contributor, even though he's contributing now. But
looks like there are a couple injuries too. We've got a
and that goes to Campbell again.
Kefu Leander, who's a transfer student, is not eligible yet. He's a big internal lineman, and when Leander becomes eligible due to the transfer rules, that will add a lot to that Seaside offensive line.
This may be the last play of the game as it's a little handoff on the inside
to Jacob Salinas there dancing around.
And with
looks
the
like
clock
that might
winding down, I don't think they're going to get off another play, and that'll be it. The Alisal High School Trojans defend their home territory 28-7 over the Seaside High School Spartans. Yeah, we want to definitely send congratulations to the Trojans and Coach Chaidez. Also, big shout out to Coach Avila and the Seaside Spartans for putting up a tremendous effort. They played 3 quarters.
Yeah,
they played 3 quarters.
A little bit of a surprise here tonight, but Seaside has some work to do. At the same time, Alisal looks like they're for real going into league.
Absolutely, and with that line anchored by Isaac Duenas, they were just able to kind of push their weight around there, and that was really the difference here, on top of being disciplined and playing for the most part mistake-free.
Good to see Duenas healthy, and good to see both teams injury-free tonight. It's always a great sign, and Mark, it's been fun working with you tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Bruce. It's a blast, and you want to do it again next week?
Let's try it.
All right, so next week we will be coming to you live from Greenfield High School, where we will see Greenfield face off with Harbor High in what promises to be an interesting match. Harbor's going to have to take that long trip.
That's a long trip to come down from Santa Cruz all the way to Greenfield on a Friday night, and Harbor is in a rebuilding mode. You know, they've had a tough go. They've really struggled with numbers. Harbor's student body of 1,200 students, but I think a real lack of consistency in the coaching staff, in the coaching ranks, has hurt them.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're turning the corner. I noticed that their numbers are pretty solid. They haven't had the results I think that they've wanted, but Greenfield, again, that should be with the new realignment.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see a good football game.
Yeah, and with the realignment, this is just kind of the price you have to pay is on both sides. They're gonna have to make those long trips, but we will find out what Harbor has next week. In the meantime, Bruce, nice to have you in my neighborhood, in my old neighborhood.
Thanks for inviting me in the hood.
Yeah,
it's been a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely. In Alisal, we know how to do it right here. Reporting live for MCAETtv.
The preceding program was made possible in part by the Nancy Eccles and Homer Hayward Family Foundation, the Digital Media Foundation, Yellow Brick Road, and the Arts Council for Monterey County. A big thank you from MCAETtv.